Good morning.
Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
Yes, absolutely. Hope you have a great day.
Yeah.
It's day 7, last day of the rally.
Day 7?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It
Whatever.
is. We leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, and we're hitting the ground running this morning. It is a busy, busy day today. Our first seminar this morning is called YouTube and You, and will be taught by none other than Jim Stockman and Aaron Jones.
Jones into travel and
Sweet travels. So we're gonna go see if we can learn a thing or two from them. Easy for me to say, right?
like talk.
Right? Yeah, that would be helpful, wouldn't it?
Well, how to talk on camera.
So we're each making our second cup of coffee to take with us and get us charged up and ready to go. And
The dog's on lap 6.
she is.
I don't get it.
We have a cooking class today.
No, you have a cooking class. I don't.
I do. Well, see, and that's, you get to taste the proceeds of that class, so that's always a good one. And then this afternoon, there's going to be fire safety, first aid, and then we are going to go around and make a serious effort to find some people outside or drag them out of their coaches to talk us through some of their bed builds.
Mm-hmm.
So, busy day ahead. I guess we better get going.
Lap 10. I don't get it. Later.
We got a request for this like three years ago. And I told Chad, I said, I had no idea why people want to know about YouTube and what do they want to talk about. So Aaron and I put our heads together last year, and we, quite honestly, we didn't know what direction we were going to take this thing.
All right, so would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, viewers. I'm Dave Chestnut. I'm from Clarksburg, California, and this is my truck. I don't have a name for it. I guess I'm going to have to do that. A lot of people around here have names for their trucks, so I'm going to have to work on that.
And so what year is your truck? I see you have a beautiful Pete.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a 2006 379 Peterbilt, and I bought it, paid $15,000 for it, and I added to the frame. I went to Nebraska, bought the sleeper and the gen set, and put everything together, built all the bracketry, and in the back I've got propane tanks. In the center I've got batteries and a gray water tank for the sleeper itself. The other side's a generator set. It's a 3-cylinder Kubota diesel engine, so I plumbed it into the tanks. So I've got plenty of fuel. I don't worry about running out. The bed I built, I used I-beams that they use in freight trailers. The rail around the outside was the bottom rail of a Marathon freight trailer, and I cut it down and cut it up, bent it, did what I needed to do, and welded it all together and bolted that to the framework, the I-beams. So, and then I put the Trex flooring on it. I originally started off with Apatong, which is a hardwood flooring they use in freight trailers, and it was supposed to be kiln dried. Well, it started secreting sap and started warping on me, so I took that off and put the Trex on there, and I really like the Trex. It's a lot cleaner. And then when I don't have the fifth wheel on, I got a cover so I've got a full patio when I don't have a fifth wheel on, or I can bumper pull with it as well. So.
And you don't haul anything on the back other than your fifth wheel.
Right. Well, I've got a ladder that I put on the side there. That's the only thing I haul on there. But when I get to a site where I'm just taking the truck as a motorhome, and it is registered as a motorhome now, I can set up my table, my barbecue, my chairs, whatever I want right on the deck, and be able to get a little better view from being a little taller.
Good morning. My name's Doug Dooland. I've been around the HDT operations for 20 years from the original start. I've done videos on me before. This is still my girl. I don't know how long I'll have it, but I've had it built 20 years. It's a 1997 International 9200 M11 Cummins Super 10 manual transmission. That's what came with it. It's an old CRST truck. So I said, you know, guys, that's going to work. What are you going to do with this? I'm going to pull an RV. And they go, well, that's a neat idea in 2000. So away we went. The guy here at B&W, he built a pickup bed for me. And called him and before I bought this, and I said, will you build this bed for me? He goes, Roger. And he goes, yeah, I'll do it for you. So 20 foot about. I got the numbers all done, put the Jeep on there. Yeah, it's going to work. The ramps were a problem. We dealt with that later on a 14-foot aluminum ramp, rated at 8,000 pounds capacity. So they're 14 feet is what I did. So anyway, we do the Honda generators with the coach generator, 3 different generators for different sizes for different fuel consumption. And redundancy is the other thing. But anyway, the bump rail up here, bring your Jeep up, 2 straps in the back, you're good to go. So that's the way we did this thing.
And you drew this out on a piece of paper.
Yeah, an 8.5 and
had
11 piece of paper, and gave it to Roger. And said, okay, see me in a month or 3 weeks.
That's super.
And we already stretched the frame. I bought the truck, said 300 inches wheelbase is going to be pretty close. You can vary that quite a bit, but because of the capacity of these trucks. So I said, take her out there. We'll build a bed around it. We know about what I need for the Jeep turning radius and stuff, so we're okay. So it worked out real well. I gave it a little more. And of course I've added the air ride hitch, which moves the coach back another 2 feet. So that's even giving me more. So that's okay. So I haul everything from hot tubs to Sturgis to tires right now. I've got all kinds of tires. And my 4-wheeler. We're gonna go riding a little bit. So I vary my trips. I don't always haul a car or whatever. It depends on what I need for that trip for 2-3 weeks.
And now you have something pretty unique with your hitch on the back.
Oh yeah, yeah, the gooseball situation. B&W, some do know, some don't know, but this got built with 2 hole positions, a 4-foot position. Because of the wheelbase, when we built it, we didn't know for sure how much it's going to wiggle. Actually, guys, 4 foot here doesn't wiggle that much, doesn't change that much. You're this far behind the wheelbase. I added more, doesn't change it that much here as you're seeing it. The goose ball hitch pops out 2 pieces. Drop the goose ball in your goose ball on B&W stuff. So B&W builds a good product. They still build the hitches. They don't build beds anymore. But this is a one and only done by B&W in 2000, and they only did 1 of them. So, but there's a lot of guys out there who'll do it. So anyway, you can use their products for your hitches and stuff. And this is the way I brought it all together. So.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for showing us your bed.
Have a good rally. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dave Hooker, and at the West Coast Rally here, having fun. I'll tell you a little bit about my truck. It's a 2001 Peterbilt 379. Got a C15 550 horse Caterpillar with an extremely rare 18-speed Eaton Fuller auto shift transmission in it. 355 rear axles. I left it tandem for 2 reasons. 1, I really like the look, and 2, when it comes to resale value down the road, if you single one of these trucks, it pretty much kills its commercial value. They're really not worth a whole lot commercially. So when it comes time to sell it, I wanted to be able to appeal to the maximum amount of people. So take the bed off, which is a total bolt-on, put the commercial 5th wheel hitch back on it, and the truck could be a commercial truck again, no problems. Or sell it as a turnkey RV hauler. The deck itself is 13 feet long. I extended behind the factory frame 20 inches. The ramps are 19 inches wide, and they're carried in this box down here, which is 20 inches wide. And then in this box, this is where my chains are. And I purposely built this bed to where you could use chains. I don't want to, but I can. Storage box up here on both sides. I put the swivel D-rings in it. There's 8 of those scattered throughout. I've got a receiver here. When I load the smart car, I used to drive it up but it's hard on the car to drive it, and it's downright dangerous to come up the ramps when it's wet.
Right.
So I've got this set up to where I can either plug the winch in here or the other side. So I normally winch it up, back it down. But the way it's set up, I could drive up and drive off the other side, whichever way I want.
Right.
So this just seems to work really easy. Oh, one thing I just recently did, I put this white line here. And what that does is when we line the smart car up on the ramps, if I line the tire up with one of the supports on the ramp and use that as a guide to come up here and put the tire right along that line, and the car ends up being perfectly positioned on the chocks.
Now that's brilliant. What a brilliant idea.
Because before, I'd never get it right. It'd always be a couple inches this way or a couple inches that way. This just makes it so easy.
Oh, that's perfect. That's a great idea.
So, I did not build the bed. I don't have a big enough shop or any type of thing to where I could flip it over. So I had a friend of mine do the actual build, but it's the way that I wanted it.
Right.
So it's turned out really well. Real happy with it.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for showing it to us.
No problem. Thank you.
I just want to clarify, if you guys remember from the video the other day, this is the neighbor with the wiener on the table.
2 wieners, actually. Yes, there's a brown one and a black one that was on the table.
Is that more than y'all needed to know? Well, I don't think this guy needs much of an introduction. I think all of you pretty much know who he is, but I'm still going to let him tell you who he is and a little bit about the truck that they're using to haul their beautiful toy hauler.
So I'm Jim from Sweet Travels. Kelly and I travel in a 2016 Western Star 5700 XE. In case the truck looks familiar to anybody, it is the Transformer truck. And we thought about having it wrapped to match the Transformer, but that'd be pretty cool, but kind of expensive. It's got the high condo in it, double bunk setup, and we absolutely love it. As far as the bed, it is a home-built bed. The original owner purchased the truck. It was a demo truck from a dealer lot, and they picked it up with, I don't know, it was less than 100,000 miles. It was, I don't know, 50 or 60,000 miles, and they drove it. He drove it home. It's never seen on the road, and he drove it home and pulled the commercial hitch off and put super singles on it and home built the bed himself. That was kind of his hobby, and his doctor told him that it was best to get off the road, and so he put it up for sale, and it was set up exactly with what we wanted. It's a smart car bed, and it's nothing fancy. It doesn't have any storage boxes. It doesn't have any bling, but it works, and that's exactly what we were looking for. And it's served us extremely well for the last 3.5 years. It had, on the outside, he had some outside homemade chocks, and we went ahead and went with RVH Lifestyle's smart chocks, mounted those up, and we drive the car up with the ramps, and we load it from the driver's side and drive it on forward, and then we just back it off on the ramps. Our ramps, there's actually, without any storage boxes, we don't have ramp slots, and so I took these to a buddy of mine. He's a fabricator, and I said, this is what I got, what can we do? And he actually came up with a really good idea. So he had some composite wheels and some round stock available, and so he put the composite wheels on there, and then he built us this, I mean, it's so simple, it's ridiculous. This catch, and we just put it over the ramps. They squeeze together, and then this threaded rod, he built the handle of it. You just drop it in, spin it, it's down, and it holds the ramps into place, and they don't move. So that's how we haul our ramps, and it works extremely well.
Now that's a whole lot easier than having to go through and strap them down.
Yeah. So I was real happy with that. The bed is all diamond plate steel. He cut it out, and this, I really like this design. No offense to Aaron and the other guys that have built their own beds, but this is open, and it will handle whatever hitch you want to put in it. And so obviously they extended the frame, put a plate, put the bed over the top, and then it'll handle an ET, it'll handle a comfort ride, it'll handle a Hensley, it'll handle whatever hitch you want. And he just bolted it down. The hitch came with the truck, with the comfort ride. And if I want to change the hitch out, I just have 12 bolts, and it lifts right out. I don't have to mess with the bed to change out the hitch, so that worked out really well. The previous owner had air over hydraulic on his rig, so he left the hookups for the air. I've never used them, and he's got some D-rings on here. Previous owner was a big U.S. military surplus auction guy, and so his big thing when he had this truck was he would pick up those 4K diesel generators from the military surplus and bid on a pallet of them, and when he won it, he would drive the truck. They would load the generators on the bed and strap them down on these D-rings and then haul them and then put them up for sale on eBay or whatever. So that's pretty much it on this truck.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Brad here, self-made bed for under $1,000. The truck's a 2015 Freightliner. Real simple bed. I took stringers, 4x8, and ran them along the bed rails. I took industrial long U-bolts, cranked them down. I think I've got 5 on each side. And then I tied it all together so I drilled lag bolts through the 4x6s on top, which I placed horizontal into those rails, and then I tightened everything up with some angle iron on the side. The whole deck itself was about $900, and I got a drum box custom made. It's got motor mounts for an outboard motor. We carry a boat that I cruise around on and go fishing. The ramps go on the side of the drum box, and backup camera here, backup camera up top.
And you haul a Smart up there?
We do put a Smart, and I don't use the tire tie downs, I just use cross straps. So I routed out some holes and put D-rings in, and they just wrap around the tires, cross, so it stays. It hasn't ever moved at all. And then on the other side, I've got a small Chandler storage where I put my winch. My winch is ambidextrous, so I can mount it through a hole here, and it clamps on this, or I can mount it on the other side. So depending on where I need to load from, I can load either side.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Pretty simple bed. I've got the controller, what do they call it? Jackalope controller. That was a pretty simple install. And then I fiberglassed the little box for dirty storage. I've got my fire pit in there, and we carry firewood. And when I did that, I covered up my brake lights, so I had to install something. So I put some cheap brake lights here, and it works.
Perfect. That's great.
Functional and simple.
Yep. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Brian, and this is Haas. This is our 2016 Volvo VNL 780, and we use it for our full-time life. We haul our Smart car and our DRV JX $450. We bought this truck from a gentleman who he and his wife were going to go, and we got very fortunate. We've actually become great friends with him and his wife, and unfortunately they had to go off the road, but we were able to actually give it the same name that he had planned on giving it, which is just ironic. And the bed was built by a local body company in Sacramento, California, called Cooks, and they work on heavy duty trucks. So one of the things we found is my wife and I have to remain connected. Being connected to the internet is the difference between us being able to work on the road and not. And I'm a telecom engineer. I've been doing it for a long time, and I ended up coming up with a solution that's worked really well. Hadn't planned on it becoming anything other than for our use, but what we've discovered is people were having this problem everywhere. And so upon pushing and doing some business with a good friend of mine who's now the CEO of Step CG, they're my partner, and we have created RV Mobile Connect, specifically designed to help full-time mobile workers and full-time RVers stay connected.
Perfect.
This right here is just the regular commercial sliding for the fifth wheel. This is what the fifth wheel slides on, and it usually sits here, but these caps right here, he welded these on, because if you can see real close, you can see where it sat inside there. Okay. And then if this works, just he can still slide his fifth wheel back and forth. So truthfully, he hasn't ruined this truck for commercial use at all. You can pop these off right here and put the commercial plate back on there, and it's back to commercial use.
And he said he can slide it from what, 67 to 72 feet?
68 to 72. Yes.
Depending on where the hitch is sitting.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So you don't have to take this commercial off. You can just take the commercial plate, pull it off, and rig something else up. And you still got yaw and sway. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's run on air. You still got the air to unlock the pins. These right here. These pins slide in, and this thing slides back and forth. Hit the air button inside. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. Hope you explained it just well. Thanks, Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve. This is my wife, Lisa.
Hi.
This is our 2017 Volvo 780. I bought it in February of this year, 2021. I built the bed myself. I had a guy bend up the metal for me that I needed to bend, and I welded it all together. It's been an extreme joy to drive. We made it from St. Louis to here in 3 days. 526 miles first day, 844 the second day, and then the short one was 260 the third day. So, but it was easy to drive, easy to make it, comfortable. It's an incredible difference over a dually pickup for sure.
What about the fatigue level driving?
None. I mean, you set the air ride seat, you got the air ride cab, you got air ride suspension. It's like driving on a cloud.
It's night and day. Pickup truck, you get out and your back's hurting, your knees hurt, and you get out of this and nothing hurts because the whole seat moves with you instead of going down the road in the pickup truck and your body's jarred.
Right.
Where this, your whole body moves with the seat, and it's so much better.
How'd you feel control-wise with the trailer?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, no fear of if somebody pulls out in front of you. The truck weighs almost twice what the camper does, so no problem stopping it. Acceleration's great. It maintains speed going up hills. So yeah, it's amazing.
Almost forget you have it back there, don't
Yeah.
you?
You don't even feel it. You got to keep checking the mirrors. Is it still there? Is it still there?
You know, we had a blowout just as we crossed the Wyoming state line, and if I wouldn't have heard it, I wouldn't have known it blew. And it's like, okay, where can I get off the road? You know, so.
Well, that's great. Any questions about this? So you did the bed yourself. Are you going to haul anything up on the bed?
Planning on a 2-door Jeep.
Oh, okay.
But we made it so that I can do a side-by-side. I can do a 2-door Jeep. If we decided with a Smart, we can do a Smart. So I left myself open because my mission profile isn't quite set yet.
And there's a good chance it can change too.
Right.
So thank you so much for showing us your
No problem.
rig and giving us your feedback on your first trip in it.
I'll say it's dirty right now, but you know, it's been 1,600 miles in
Yeah,
last weekend, so
they get like that.
Yeah.
Well, super. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Jim Stevens, and this is our truck. It's Ellie, and it's a 2014 T680 Kenworth that we just purchased. This is its maiden voyage,
Oh, beautiful.
and we had the bed built by a company in Fort Morgan, Colorado, called Temco, and it was his first bed that he built, and I can't ask for anything better. We went with the ET hitch, everything. We went with the slide away ramps, everything like that, and for the cost and the value of everything that was done, we couldn't ask for anything better.
And you're hauling your smart car on it.
We are hauling our smart car. That's Squirt, and it's its first ride.
Oh, super.
And the boxes on the back are our Amazon special $250 drone boxes. Okay, and so we tried to do everything practical, but not so expensive.
Oh, are you comfortable telling people how much your bed build was?
I'm very comfortable. He built our bed, and that's with the boxes included and everything. He built the whole bed, and it cost us $6,250. That's $6,250. And the addition was the ramps. They were down below, and that was an additional $600.
Oh my God.
So we can't really go wrong. And the quality of the bed build and the workmanship was just second to none.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's an impressive bed, and it's a beautiful truck. So how are you enjoying your first trip out in it?
It's great. We had a great time. The difference is just phenomenal. We have a medium duty that we used before this, and there's just no comparison. The safety, the stopping power, and just the ride comfort and the quietness.
Right.
It's second to none.
You don't feel fatigued at the end of a long day
No,
driving?
you don't. I mean, we used to make our days only 250 miles long, and now since we have this, we went our 200, 250, and I says, I'm ready to go farther, so we went 400 to 500.
Oh my gosh.
So, and it turned out to be good. We didn't have a problem, so.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your truck with us.
Not a problem. It's been a great time. We've had a great time here at this rally. This is our first HDT rally, and it won't be our last.
Oh, that's great. It is a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is.
Are
a
you
lot of fun.
exhausted?
Well, not exhausted, but I mean, I felt the week.
Yeah. It's a little busy.
Just a little busy, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. The people, the camaraderie. We had some small problems, and everybody was right there to help fix the problem and get everything ready. I mean, if there's anything that could possibly go wrong, it can be fixed here. And so that's the good thing, because everybody can have peace of mind.
Well, great. We hope to see you here next year.
Oh yeah. We'll get on.
I'm Chad Heiser. I'm the host of the West Coast HDT Truck Rally. I'm also the owner of Heiser RV Solar and Electric. And this is my truck. It's a 2000 model year Kenworth T2000. I purchased it back in 2012, so I've had it almost going on 9 years. I purchased it in the configuration it sits now. The person who owned it before me was hauling big living quarters horse trailers. They had a gooseneck hitch on it. When I bought it, I switched the gooseneck hitch out for a RV trailer saver airbag fifth wheel hitch. It came singled. I like short wheelbase trucks, and also mid-roof sleepers, which is what this is. I like the maneuverability. This truck is only about 18 inches longer than my old Chevy Dually was. I can still fit it in a regular parking space if I need to, especially if I can overhang the bumper in the back over a curb or something. The bed is very simple. It's just a flat hauler bed with a little bit of a lip around it. It doesn't have any storage built into it, which is the only drawback to it right now. Ultimately, I will replace this bed with something very similar, but it'll have storage bays front and rear of the axles and a large drawn box, and ideally a freshwater tank and a wastewater tank in the bed. So when we're boondocking, I can dump the trailer into the truck, go dump everything, fill up with fresh water, and transfer that back to the trailer, so we don't have to move the rig to go dump when we're staying out extended boondocking trips.
And this is your daily driver when you're out camping?
Currently, when we're out camping, it's a daily driver, which is why I like a short wheelbase truck. Ultimately, in my dream world, when I can convince my wife to let me spend the money, we'll switch out, because I double tow currently, so we bring a RZR with us when we're going out to the desert. So I'd like to get a toy hauler to put the RZR in. I would still double tow with a Jeep or a Bronco or something behind the toy hauler. When we start traveling, I still work full time. I'm gonna get ready to retire, and then I'll be working full time with my other business. But once my wife and I are both retired, we'll travel for longer periods of time. And then I would like to be able to have the RZR and a runaround vehicle for sightseeing and stuff, so we don't have to use the truck for sightseeing. But we do use it currently as our only vehicle when we're traveling right now, and it works out. Other than the bed, it's a really nice truck. I mean, I don't mind the bed so much. It's functional. It does what I need it to do, but I would like to make it more functional at some point.
Super.
All right.
Well, thank you for showing us your truck.
You're welcome.
Good night, rally's over. No. Well, we end another year.
It was another great year.
Yeah. Lots of new faces and new friends, and it was an exciting week. It was.
Yeah.
Awesome. Met a lot of people.
Yeah.
And can't wait to meet them again.
Yeah. So for any of you we met at the rally, if we didn't get a chance to tell you personally, we enjoyed it so much.
Absolutely. Steve, thanks for coming by with your truck. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It was a crazy, hectic, busy day today.
Yeah.
There were a couple of seminars that I had wanted to go to, the cooking, which is always really good. And they had first aid this afternoon and fire suppression, and those are always good. But there was so much going on that we kind of didn't get to those. But it's these rally weeks, they're hectic, but they're so much fun. And the people here, I mean, that's really what makes these rallies worthwhile. The people here are just awesome.
Down to earth. Love them all.
Yep.
They're awesome people. And like I say, the people that we have met who have stopped in to say hi, awesome.
Yeah.
We love to meet you.
Yeah. We love all of you. So with that, it's almost 11 o'clock. We're going to go to bed. All right, we'll catch y'all later.
The only one sleeping around here is the doggone dog. Cotton picking dog. All right. We'll see you, I guess we'll see you tomorrow on this one.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you down the road.
Safe travels, everybody.
Night.